All right. Hello, my name is Marcelina. I'm a Master of Regional Planning student, and I'm here to present tools and techniques topic on capital improvement. And I'm gonna be focused on the city of Cambridge and use it as a case study to understand basically how capital improvement program works in that city and how municipal budget or state funding is prioritized over comprehensive planning vision. All right. Moving forward, I think it's important to understand what is capital improvement and then how it's end up translating in capital improvement programs for city. So, capital improvement are a long-term investment in the physical assets or infrastructure that improves public realm, supports community development, or improve the delivery of public service. To be more specific, capital improvements are projects that create, expand, or significantly upgrade public facilities such as roads, water and sewer system, parks, schools, public buildings, or housing developments. And usually, it translates to capital improvement program to align with the comprehensive plan of the city, which is a long-range plan, usually within a 20 or 50 years horizon. And its implementation or the implementation of the comprehensive planning depends heavily on public and private investment. This is where the capital improvement ends up making sense. So the major investment in the public infrastructure are typically sequenced and prioritized within the jurisdiction of capital improvement programs. So, how actually the capital improvement focus within the range of a lot of projects on a comprehensive plan? First of all, it's important to understand that comprehensive plans are generally implemented through a combination of regulation, city expenditure, and the partnership with the private sector. So many cities focus on implementing their comprehensive plan primarily through regulation, capital investment, which this one I end up emphasizing, and strategic infrastructure investment that support the development partner envisioned by the comprehensive plan. So, integrating the CAP with the comprehensive plan can help ensure that regulation and public-private partnership toward realizing the vision of the comprehensive plan and the development intensities and infrastructure's capacity are in sync over time. The CAP plan, developed alongside the annual municipal budget, focus on funding infrastructures project with a shorter horizon than the comprehensive plan. As I said before, the comprehensive plan usually holds a lot of projects for the city, but not all of them are possible to be implemented. That's why usually the range of time for the total implementation of a comprehensive plan for a city lasts at least 20 to 50 years, according to each city necessity or the exactly community needs for the each current time. It's important to prioritize some of those projects listed in the comprehensive planning, and for its implementation, we need a certain budget, and we need to define where this budget goes. So this is how the CIP end up being focused, and it's usually address urgent needs, capital renewal, and service demand, often determined by the implementing department or bond package. Now we're going to move forward to our case study, which is the city of Cambridge, and we're going to analyze the city approach CAP, the strengths of their CAP, the weaknesses or inequities, and also by the end, I'm going to provide my own opinion or analysis over the CAP program of the city of Cambridge. So, it's interesting that the city of Cambridge, instead of like having or nominated a CAP, they nominated CBP, which means Capital Building Project Department, Capital Building Project. And the city holds the department for the Capital Building Project. The department is responsible for manage various projects across Cambridge municipal buildings, focus on energy efficiency, emission reduction, resilience, and moral supporting the city's strategic plan priorities. As I stated before, the main objective of CAP is support the city comprehensive plan and make sure that things or projects that are listed in the comprehensive plan can be implemented and can be funded. Besides the main goal of reducing greenhouse gas emission, the Department of Capital Building Project holds other projects too, and some of them they still be in work, and other ones they are already completed. And the department manage all those projects as is listed here in the slides. For example, the City Hall facade restoration, the fire department headquarters, the Thorndike Street reconstruction project, which is one of the projects that is already finished, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about this project. So. One of the projects that, as I mentioned, that is already completed is the Thorn Street reconstruction project. The project's main goal was to raise the conditions for road user, including pedestrian, bicycles, and individuals with a disability, by incorporating sidewalk, curb cuts, car extensions, and crosswalks. crosswalks in accordance with the MassDOT guideline for wheelchair road and pedestrian access and the Massachusetts Architectural Access Board regulation. Also, the design incorporate traffic calming tools and dedicate pedestrians and bicycle facilities. Documents and a comprehensive schedule of the project were available during the project duration. I personally couldn't find how much budget the city allocate in this project, so this might be something that I might mention in the weakness of CBP projects in the city of Cambridge. Yeah, so right now we have the total funds that the city receives, or the total budgets of the city, and how it's end up going, or which percentage end up going to the CBP projects, or how much they prioritize for the CBP department. So, from my analysis, I end up finding out that the majority of the capital funds originate from government source. Or meanwhile, most of the money that goes to the CBP projects comes from the government source or funds. And among the 100% of the money that comes from government funds, only 12.74% is allocated to capital improvement projects, which in my particular opinion, this allocation is insufficient and could potentially lead to substantial delays in comprehensive plan implementation. So I've identified some strains for the CBP the CBP in the city of Cambridge, and those are long-range planning and a well-structured approach, which are essential for effective implementation of the visions within the comprehensive plan. So while some cities may complete their CIP or CBP within a short time frame, the city of Cambridge has a more extensive timeline, usually 4 to 10 years, and this extended timeline allows that better budgeting and resource allocation are available, and yes, there is no money always available, so the city can still manage very well the budget that they receive each time. In addition to that, they have a very structured department for budget management, and it's really crucial for organization and to achieve successful execution of the plan, of the comprehensive plan. So they, as I said before, they have a central office for budget management, which is really beneficial for the city. So this office helps facilitates careful analysis and intelligent and fair allocation of resources within the comprehensive plan range. And also, I would like to point out that the office makes available, not with as much detail as I was expecting, several documents of like summaries of how much money goes to the CIP or the CBP projects, and how the budget of the city is like fairly, or anyways, distributed among all the priorities that the city has. Yeah, so I've identified some weakness too. So most of them are, I mean, I'm not going too deep on that, but most of them are just like from the graph we saw before in the previous slide, it shows that the most funds for the CBP projects comes from local government budget or local government funds, which may increase uncertainties and delays because money is not always available. And we know that with the current political situation of the country, this might be a big constraint on like advancing some priorities or CBP projects within the city jurisdiction. So also, all the projects listed in the previous slides, they seem to be really complex, and it's kind of like complicated to make the public, which has no domain on like technical expertise, to get to know how these projects are working, and it may be a motive for low-income residents exclusion, so they can't understand what is going on or what is happening in the city and how the projects are being run. So also one thing that really bothers me is like too much focus on large projects, and also a lot of focus on schools, small improvements. I know that Cambridge is essentially surrounded by a lot of like important schools like Harvard, MIT, and other institutions, and and those schools are very, very prestigious, and they want to make sure that they always look good. The access to those places are always in the good condition. So I feel like there is too much focus on schools and big projects, which end up like leaving aside small arrangement that the community might need. As I said before, by the end of the presentation, I will provide some recommendation or how I think the CBP from the city of Cambridge could improve the allocation of their, or the distribution of their budget within the city projects or within the vision of the comprehensive plan of the city. So the city could increase project selection fairness and the transparency by implementing an equity weakness scoring system. We actually are doing that in our studio, like place all the community needs, or all the priorities from all the listed elements in the comprehensive plan, and place them in a scoring scoring system to see which one should be implemented first and like get the public opinion about it. So the system could utilize a map, icon, or scorecard to visualize demonstrative the evaluation criteria for projects. I guess it will be more easy or way easier for the public to engage directly with the project, which often do not happen within the city of Cambridge jurisdiction. So also to ensure inclusive participation, a small version of funds like 2 to 5% of the capital investment plan could be allocated for prompt repairs and neighborhood accessibility projects. It's not that the city don't do that, but it's something that is mostly leaving or left aside. As I say, they tend to prioritize like big improvements, and they forget like small improvements that the residents may need. Additionally, to facilitate a comprehensive understanding of the proposals, even in workshop, translated materials and concise summaries could be provided to the community. And lastly, the city could consider alternative funding strategy beyond relying solely on the government budgetary allocation. Maybe establish that a certain percentage of the city taxes goes to the CIP project that might or would increase the amounting of or the amount of budget or the percentage of budget that the city now holds for the CIP project. Yeah, this is basically what I have to talk about CIP and how it's work in the city of Cambridge. I hope it was helpful. So thank you. Those are my references. Thank you.